Welcome from the break. This is The Dialogue. It is the big show when we reflect on the big events of the week. On the show this morning, we have Dr. Jared Wedihe Wanzara, and Dr. Wanzara is a public policy researcher, but also an associate lecturer at Uganda Management Institute. Richard Baguma is a communication expert, but also a commentator on political and social issues. Our special guest, Khalifa Ganaga, stage name. Sadat Muchibi is the flag bearer for the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, an opposition party in the Kawempe North by-election. In the first segment, we looked majorly on the events which played out during nominations, and we were asking whether those are signals for what may happen in during the campaigns and in the upcoming general elections. But we now in this hour look at what we should expect during the campaigns. Can we expect real issues on rallies and during political campaigns, or we expect trivia and comedy as it has been happening on several occasions, and of course violence? Or we also ask, are the electoral processes in Uganda getting better or not? Well, let me give you, Sadat, a few minutes to conclude. You were concluding on this matter of on what we should expect in campaigns for Kawempe North, and you were saying that whatever happens, for you will stick on issues that affect your people.
Yes.
And I was asking, are the people going to give ear to your message, good as it is, or like somebody said, this for the opposition is a protest vote? They may not want to hear other issues. People just have what they want to hear specifically.
The people of Kawempe, I've passed through them. I've got to know their concerns. They really want to change. They want the change. Of course, they want the change. But as the change comes, there are certain problems that need to be solved
In the short term.
in the short term. Whatever happened during the nomination, didn't break me from going to Kawempe grounds and talk to my people, stressing out the problems, talking to them, communicate to them, and also them communicating to me about their concerns. Their concerns, they say, yes, we want the change, but as we wait for the change, there are certain issues. The poor garbage disposal, we shall not wait for the change. That is an immediate concern. The rampant unemployment, the way how the street vendors are treated. So, yes, it is a protest vote, but they need the service within this period of the process. Within this period, because
what if along the way your fellow candidates who would rather do comedy get the support, the popular support, and you see them, holding massive rallies, but not bring out those real issues that affect the people?
then at the end of the day, the people will suffer.
Okay.
At the end of the day, they will make a wrong decision.
So for you, you're going for real issues.
Yes.
Not for comedy, not for trivia.
Not for comedy, not for sympathy.
Not for sympathy. Actually, we spoke about sympathy. Thank you so much, Sadat. And I'll be reading the messages. I have several of them here. But I implore you to continue sending in your comments and observations. We are looking at a crucial matter of democracy, the growth of democracy in Uganda. After 5 years, go into an election cycle. We elect leaders, but almost every other election looks like the script is just the same. Violence, comedy, and frustration that leaders have not performed, have not delivered to our expectations. Let me hear from you before I read the messages. Dr. Gerard Wera-Wanzala, this on the path of democracy and in the context of elections like we are in now in Kawempe North, do you see some progress? Are we really moving forward?
Apple, I usually talk about democracy and give pillars of how a true democratic dispensation should be. One, we have the independence of the institutions. For instance, the security forces need to be non-partisan, should be seen to be non-partisan in the electoral process. But in a situation where they take sides, especially on the side of visible on the side of the ruling party, then the democracy, the democratic credentials of the country are questionable. Because then the security will have positioned itself as an opponent to citizens' participation, free participation. The other issue is free media. If I'm seeing a journalist like that gentleman who was of Top TV was brutalized, who I don't know how his health will end up, free media. I've seen all MDs are being forced to go to Chankwanze for panel beating, meaning that they want to influence the ideology, the thinking.
And it is the dialogue. My name is Prince Apollo, and still looking at the campaigns as they kick off in Kawempe North, but also the bigger context of the 2026 general elections. And Dr. Gerard Wera-Wanzala, I had asked if the electoral processes in Uganda have or are getting better. After all this time, the constitution was promulgated in 1995. We are counting 20 years down the road, elections every 5 years. Is it getting better? We have stagnated or otherwise?
Yeah, I think before we went off air, I had mentioned two things. One, behavior of security forces. That for you to evaluate a democratic process, you must see how security relates. Is it partisan or is it non-partisan? What I talked about is free media. Are candidates able to be given equal time to present their views to the people, to explain themselves, or people have to be harassed? Like I was giving an example that now all media owners are being forced to go to Chankwanzi. Is it alignment of the thinking?
For patriotism?
Yeah, patriotism isn't bad. But what I have seen in Uganda, one time I went to Luzira to speak to the students who had been gathered there for patriotism training. But when I saw the syllabus, it is so much skewed towards the NRM ideology, not the country. There's very little about the history, the correct history of Uganda. Also, you go to the UPDF and see the civic education in the UPDF. It is aligned to obeying Muzei, the NRA, and so forth. It's not about generally the state called Uganda.
Richard has been there.
Yes. So these are some of. So when I talked about partisan security forces, free media, now also there's rule of law. Rule of law means that the law should be blind, should not be seeing Richard and then applying to Richard differently. Where you have the ADF leader in Luzira being tried in the civil courts, and then you have a messenger in the court martial. you know, who is also so. When the law has eyes and there's no clear rule of law, it means the democratic path is narrowing. Then we have what we call a people participation. People participation means that people are able to present themselves to register to vote. They are able to get civic education, such that they have the capacity to make key decisions without influence of either stupidity or ignorance, call it ignorance. But since we made the constitution, we have never funded civic education. We have never funded the electoral commission to even come up with a policy. For us, we are pushing for a civic education policy the last 10 years. Nothing has come fruitful because government is not interested. So if you have absence of rule of law, the media is not free, then the security forces are partisan. The electoral body is also partisan and appointed by one side. So I think we will be deceiving ourselves that the electoral process is improving, our democracy is improving, but in reality, it will be like you are taking porridge, but you are pretending that you are taking soup. The two are totally different.
Thank you so much. Let me read the comments before I go to Richard. You're eating porridge, but you're pretending
that you have soup in your hands.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Apollo. My kind request goes to police and other people in uniform. Stop brutalizing Ugandans like that. We are one people and one blood. Please respect yourselves. What we saw Jat doing to Nalukola was unprofessional, and it paints a bad image to our country internationally. To those vying for posts, please learn to follow the rules and regulations. People's children being arrested because of you, and yet you do nothing for their families. Uniform people and candidates, please respect human rights. Bloodshed is not good. James in Nimbale is watching. Thank you so much, James, for that comment and observation. Kasule ku saluni ekifuta agamba nti nze kwendi nnyo webale nnyo okubanga kwoli. Thanks for the show. I am Adepo Francis, the National Youth Chairman of the FDC party. I want to inform the youth in Kawempe and across the country that Khalifa is a true representation of the struggles young people face in this nation. Despite his intelligence, earning AA-BB1 at A level, he has no access to the states. He had no access to state scholarships. He rightfully deserved. Coming from the ghetto, he has risen to become a superstar and is now ready to serve our country. Vote Khalifa, vote FDC. Let me know if you'd like any further refinements. I hope that was the comment was for me. He says he is Adepo Francis. Thank you so much, Adepo. That was a message.
Chairperson.
Okay, from your side. Don't call, please. People send comments by SMS and WhatsApp. Apollo, my name is Pastor Gracious from Bwaise. We want to express our appreciation for Khalifa Sadat stepping into this race. His manifesto aligns perfectly with the needs of our people. For too long, our politics has been driven by mere noise, but we commend Khalifa for his genuine message and calmness, even while speaking. My church stands with him and will vote for him. There you have a compliment. This election was decided the day, 1, the army and police vandalized NUP offices and brutally arrested those they did. 2, the day Jat bullied and pounded people at nomination, but left Nambi the NRM to lead processions unlike her competitors. 3, NUP has an academically handsome candidate that we have known for a very long time than the opportunistic NRM candidate. So the other opposition-leaning candidates, we have no time for them. We are voting a personality of Narukola. He is Walter in Kazo. Thank you so much. It is your choice and it is your opinion. thank you so much for watching. To me, as an NRM supporter, sometimes I'm forced to think that the institution of police has a problem because whatever they do and speak as they are promoting opposition. When I saw the issue of Narcola, people got an impression that government fear him. They are giving him favor, even others. Peter Nangoti Nimbale, it is your comment, but thank you so much for tuning in and for following. Let me check on SMS. I am Farida from Kanyanya. I thank Khalifa for conducting himself peacefully during his nomination, despite his overwhelming influence. His message is truly inspiring, and we will vote for you, Muchibi Sadati. Let me know if you would like. Okay. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for the comments, but we implore you to keep those messages coming in. Let me now go back to the panel and we go into our final round of discussions. And if there is any other comment coming in, observation, I'll be reading it in the next 10 minutes. Richard, are our electoral processes in Uganda getting better, looking at what is happening and the time we have had going into election cycles or electoral cycles every 5 years?
One is, we know, for example, the outcome of the presidential elections for 2026.
We know?
Yeah, as long as President Yoweri Museveni is on the ballot. Yeah, we know. So is it getting better or not? It's been like this for how many years?
Coming to 20 now.
The one was 96. So we know the outcome. Now we also seem to agree that there will be Chiboko.
Oh.
Yeah, we seem to agree there will be some Chiboko, there will be some... there will be some...
You speak as if it is a cup of tea.
There will be some tear gas. You see, I keep telling you, Apollo, that we have a saying that the one who talks about what is going to come in the future is not the one who has brought it. For him, he just says it is going to rain tomorrow because he has looked at the cloud formation. So if the weather forecast is that it will rain tomorrow and it rains and it beats you, then you blame the one.
Yeah, in journalism we call it the shoot the messenger mentality.
Absolutely, they shoot the messenger mentality. So yeah, so because I want somebody to come and explain to me why they are convinced that this time there will not be some Chiboko and some tear gas. I want them to tell me what is their basis. From what I see, what I have seen over the years, from what I saw from Kawempe, I have no reason not to expect that. You see, the Kawempe by-elections, I think some of these things is because they must happen. But here we are in March. Next year in
February or
we
March.
have an election. So what is that MP going to do? What can that MP really fundamentally change? So they would also be expecting too much to think that this member of parliament is going to cause tectonic movements within the constituency in a period of a few months. Systems don't work like that in government, particularly now when they are even slower. But people must be represented. The law is like that.
It's within the ambits of the law.
Yeah, so right there we go through this gymnastics. But for some of the institutions, it's also learning, like preparation, a dry run. So Apollo, that we are improving or not, every of those elections, each and every of those elections has been legally contested.
Yeah.
And the court, at the highest level, the highest appellate court, has always said some things should happen in order for the election to improve. But we know that those things have not happened. Yeah, if you look at all the judgments, because they have gone to the highest courts, and the courts have pronounced themselves on the reforms.
On the involvement of this military and security agencies.
What reforms should be made? We know those reforms have not been made. I haven't seen a fundamental change in the financing of the elections. I haven't seen a fundamental improvement in the
Like in civic education?
no, the general financing
Ah,
of the elections. You see, we have now close to what, 3 million
what?
elected officials
Yeah, posts.
in this country. Yeah, so just take an average of what, 100,000 shillings per. How much do you need to have each official elected? And so, what is the budget then of the Electoral Commission to deliver on this? So there will be some semblance of voter education. We never have civic education. No, we have some sputtering of voter education. That is why, if you want to assess, look at the number of spoiled votes
Yeah, there are very many.
in the constituencies or in the presidential elections. So if I am to be charitable in awarding a score, I think we have stagnated.
Oh.
And that's
Do you have a problem with the issue of people being taken to Chankwanzi? He's the one who raised it.
The who? People have been going to Chankwanzi. All the
Media
time.
managers.
I have
Media
No, we are not
managers.
talking about managers. Apple. It's a misrepresentation.
Owners.
Yes. We are talking about the businessmen and women who invest in the media. I am not sure what business they have in Chankwanzi. These are business people. They are entrepreneurs.
Patriotism training.
I'm not sure what business they have in Chankwanzi. And by the way, Apollo, these are the questions I asked when I had this. What is the readiness of the facility in Chankwanzi with diabetes, with prostate, with hypertension, because the media owners in this country
you may end up killing them.
In this category.
You may end up risking their lives.
For me, I think sometimes
taking them through frog marches.
It is very interesting sometimes how we wake up and make some of these decisions.
It's a word. Khalifa, at least you have been a voter, I suppose. You have been in this country. You have witnessed electoral processes happening in this country and participated. How do you look at the progress? Are electoral processes in Uganda improving from your perspective?
It is improving by just numbers.
Oh, the number of voters.
The number of voters and people participating. But I can point out a few problems facing the processes, and the Electoral Commission should focus on facilitating their workers, because when they are not facilitated, they end up the workers end up facilitating vote rigging. Then the Electoral Commission should focus on voter bribery. To have a free and fair election, all candidates should feel like my vote is protected.
Sure.
But sometimes I feel like my vote is not protected, because who selected these people? It is the ruling government.
The commissioners.
The commissioners. Were the opposition parties included?
Yeah, through Parliament.
Through Parliament.
During approval, the appointments committee that approves the commissioners, there is a leader opposition is a member on the appointments committee.
Then on ground, even the Electoral Commission should work with the security forces, not to scare away people. For example, we were in the harmonization meeting with the Electoral Commission yesterday. But the officers who came in uniform, they came in this usual police uniform. But on ground, we see JAT. We see special forces coming in. So I wonder, and I ask myself, are we dealing with JAT during during the elections? Or
JAT is Joint Anti-Terrorism Force.
Are we dealing with JAT or this usual police?
It should be police.
It should be police. When we see JAT, our voters get scared. They say, hey, I don't support the ruling government. If they see me putting on blue, supporting Khalifa, Yesterday I got a chance to visit one of my voters. He told me, you come and visit me at my home. I reached at his home in the ghetto there in Chebando. Then I saw a picture of President Museveni, the NRM. Then he told me, you know what, man, don't fear. This one, I just put it here. If the security forces come and they see this picture, I'm free. Don't take.
I'm safe.
I'm safe. Okay. So I think the Electoral Commission should work on having a free and fair election.
Giving
everyone
confidence.
Giving the voters a confidence. There is some kind of bribery. Look at this. You know, in Kawempe there, people, my voters came and told me, you know, they said the PDM is coming, but they told us if we don't support the government, we shall not be part of the So they were like, if we don't support them, we shall not benefit. You see, all issues coming in. So the Electoral Commission and the electoral process, yes, they have done a good job, but some things are lacking.
Okay.
Working with the security forces and informing the people which security agents are we working with. Is it the JAT or SFC or the casual police that we always see?
Okay. So Khalifa, you are in an election, but you're not so confident that the ground will be level.
Yeah, because when someone in NRM comes in and say, yeah, we are just passing time, but we have already won this. How do you come and
maybe that's an intimidating statement?
Not an intimidating statement. There is a reason why they say that. Because they know they are going to rig the what? And we have seen this happening. This is not the first time. We have seen it happening everywhere. You see, someone can come, he's a weak candidate, and you see even the processions are weak. You see the rallies are weak. The candidate is even weak, but at the end of the day, they say, he's the winner. And you wonder, which kind of magic did they use?
Okay, how you call on the Electoral Commission to step up, to give people confidence that elections will be fair and free. But do you think the Electoral Commission is able to do that, or it has to start somewhere, either in Parliament? Do you think it's only the Electoral Commission that can change that?
Because in the electoral process, it's, the Electoral Commission is the head.
They are the managers of elections.
They are the managers of this election. If we trust them.
Do they have powers to say? Anyway, I think that's a question for Wedike. If the Electoral Commission has powers to stop the intervention of the military or the security forces in an election, where does, I'm sorry, let him first come in.
Yeah,
can the Electoral Commission play part in
Now, the
in
duty,
sanitizing
the duty
the processes?
to deliver a free and fair election lies with the Electoral Commission. But the Electoral Commission works with other stakeholders to deliver, to create an enabling environment. When it comes to the laws, Richard was talking about electoral reforms. There is a player that is called the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. We also have the Parliament of Uganda. When it comes to security enforcement, usually during the general election, they recruit extra, they call the electoral constables, who are there temporarily, and they wear police uniform probably for that 3 or 4 days after a short training to support the existing police. But it gets very, very complicated when the military comes in. Of course, usually the issue is that police can be overwhelmed, especially during the general election. And then they have a tact of signing MOUs, police and the army, and say the army will work behind the police. But in reality, when it comes to deployment, the Electoral Commission chairperson and the team have very less. But we as the public, what we demand from them, to see them demand to speak our language of the people and say, you know what, we need security, but let the army withdraw. Let's deploy the general police. I'm not hearing that coming out.
For instance,
Justice
in this recent incident during nominations, can the Electoral Commission raise its voice and
I think if they
create impact?
I think if they join us to talk about it, to speak about it, because on whose behalf are they organizing the election? They organize the election such that people are free to campaign, people are free to listen to the candidates, and people are free to turn up and vote without coercion or without fear.
The question,
so if they speak,
the question why I ask you this, I heard the spokesperson of the Electoral Commission saying this incident happened outside the premises of the Electoral Commission. So we are not in charge as for now. We are not in charge.
Yeah, but let them not be defensive, because Kawempe North is not the office of the Electoral Commission. It has a geographical demarcation, by the way, demarcated by the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission is in charge of creating those boundaries. So you cannot pretend and you say, since it did not happen at the office, at the premises, therefore you cannot raise it. I think we demand that the Electoral Commission should raise it and demand that the normal police is deployed to protect, to safeguard the elections in Kawempe North. Not to pretend.
Not to pretend.
Yes.
So that before I go to Richard, we received here messages, and there were more of compliments to you for being calm and peaceful. Do you think that's how this politics works in this country?
That's how it should be working. Because it's all about serving the people. These people need a servant leader. Not a leader who's going to come, they want sympathy. Instead of raising the issues facing the people, you only talk about Museveni. 30 years, 30 years, 30 years. Yes, you're talking about 30 years, but MPs are in parliament earning salaries. Other institutions are working. We have a leader of opposition. So if your complaint is about the overstay of Museveni and the 30 years and the injustice, then step out.
What is your strength? Now you can speak to our viewers on Khalifa Ganaga's strength in this election.
My strength is in understanding the problems facing the people of Kawempe.
Do you understand them?
I understand them, because the number one problem facing the people of Kawempe is poverty. Families are splitting. A man goes back home without even a penny or a single coin, maybe even buying ice cream for the kids, even a simple
Will you just give them money?
No, but creating job opportunities, having strategies.
How?
For example, the rampant unemployment among the youths, by installing free Wi-Fi hotspots in every ghetto.
Oh,
By
they go on TikTok and
by embracing this technology, um, the youths get a chance of learning how to use the internet to create their own jobs, becoming influencers, learning forex trading, e-commerce, online trading, running Facebook ads, running TikTok ads. We've seen TikTokers creating their own jobs. We've seen. Let me give you the other time I give you an example of Coco. I don't know if you know Coco. These influencers. We have Winnie Wamami.
Are they making billions?
They are making a lot of money. Making a single challenge for if you have a song, and you want challenges to promote it, they charge each challenge. They charge at 250. Now that can that person who earns, he makes a challenge of only 30 seconds, but you give them around 300, 200. Can they go and say I'm unemployed?
No.
They have created their own jobs. We are seeing young people now driving expensive cars, wondering. People saying they are in Illuminati, but they are dealing in forex trading. So
you are running on a card of eliminating poverty.
Yeah, because
what else?
Then they help the poor garbage disposal. Because of poor waste management, the waste ends up in the drainage channels, that leading to diseases. And when diseases attack our people, because we have a small number of hospitals, we need mobile clinics, establishing mobile clinics. My colleague talked about that being the time is small, being the time is limited, precisely 11 months. But this can be done.
Yeah, for an MP who will be successful in that
now, when
election,
I talk about the installation
it will be a few months to the generation.
When I talk about the installation of Wi-Fi hotspots, I will not wait for the government. These people have been.
Those are the things you can do in these few months.
These people have been earning a lot of money. A member of parliament, when you become a member of parliament, they give you 200 million to go and buy a car and new suits and ties. Yeah? That 200 million, if you calculate, let me give you, installing a free Wi-Fi hotspot for about 500 people, it can cost you something like 300. Now, if you divide, okay, if you can use only a budget of 100 million, those are like 300 Wi-Fi hotspots.
In Kawempe?
In Kawempe. I will not wait for the government.
Then, so you'll use taxpayers' money to help the real people.
Because the leader is there to help. Through the private members bill, I can rally all my colleagues, my other MPs, to have the copyright law, to pass the copyright law. Because in Kawempe, Kawempe has produced so many musicians and so many people from the art industry, the Jose Chameleons, Khalifa, Shiba. If we want to curb the unemployment problem, when someone makes a hit, a producer, if I make a hit, producer benefits, that is one job. A video producer, that is another job. A bouncer, that is another job. The bar owners, they hire us, they gain from that one hit. So without the copyright, now look at, let me give you an example. I give you an example of Chameleon.
Just in 1 minute, we are running out of time.
He is a stakeholder in the industry. He has a big catalog. But he cannot use his catalog and go to the bank and he get a loan of 5 million. But a chapati vendor can take his business to the bank and they give him money. They give him a loan of 500, 1 million. because there is no copyright, the artists have no ownership at their catalogs. You see? So
those are some of the issues, and I will give you another minute to make your concluding remarks on this show. And I think you specifically now speak to the people of Kawempe.
Yeah, my people of Kawempe. This is Khalifa Aganagam Chivisadati from the FDC. My symbol is the key. We are using the key to unlock all the padlocks and all the chains around us. Vote Khalifa. Vote Khalifa, Londa Khalifa, Wetukiri. On the 13th of March, that is my birthday.
Oh.
Please, give it to me as a gift. Vote for Khalifa.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let me read these two comments and the panelists give us their final comments. Good morning, Prince Apollo. Thanks for the program. The dialogue. According to the EC administrators in Kawempe, they blame Narukola for using the main road after his nomination, thus the fracas. Other candidates, Khalifa inclusive, on that day didn't use the main road. Afterwards, and nothing happened to them. Meanwhile, Honorable Nambi was freely using the main road on the second day and no interference cited. One miracle Ibra news report of Top TV was clobbered. Government should intervene and he gets justice. This is Emma Wangolo, Mr. Mara, writer and analyst at Inspire Uganda Forum, Inspire Africa Forum Uganda. Thank you so much, and because of time we may not respond specifically to your message. Hello Salt, thanks for the show, but I just want to thank Khalifa for his confidence and may he be free. We are behind him. May he be, okay. We are behind him. He gonna win, mashallah. You didn't give us your name, but thank you so much for the message and for tuning in. I need to conclude with this message. Good morning, Mr. Polo. This is Brother Razak and my wife Sylvia. For my concern is that when you see other developed nations, they have unitism for the better reputation of their country. This is my prayer as our politician participate in this nomination. Please work together for the development of our municipalities. One people, one Uganda. I think that is Sylvia Chomugisha Kari. Thank you so much, our viewers. Just 1 minute and we go. Not even a minute.
Yeah,
please.
As I conclude, I request all stakeholders in our political dispensation to be responsible, to know that we have one country, no other country to go to, and therefore we need to guide all the actions we do to ensure that they bring peace and harmony in the country. As for my group, the Uganda First Political Action Group, we are talking one language. You want peace in elections.
Okay. When did that start? I was not aware of that. Well, I'm Ramadan Sulait. I am now in Karagwe, Tanzania. Khalifa is the true choice. You hear people. Thanks All TV. We are watching live from Kanyanya. Those doubting Khalifa's ability should compare their A-level results. That of Aganaga. 23 points at A6 is not a joke. Kali, thank you so much, our viewers. Our time is up.
No, I think the Khalifa is going to be one of those working for President Yoweri Museveni in not the very distant future.
Oh. You see him.
I wish him luck in this.
A potential force to work with your president.
Why are you working? Why?
This current. I wish him luck in.
You don't see Khalifa elevating from an MP to contesting for
presidency.
For presidency.
I come and say my things here, and I tell you to keep these recordings. I keep telling you. I wish him luck in his current movement. He was in this.
You
place.
See him being poached anytime.
He was in the other place. He's now in this. He was in the other color. He's now in this color. So I don't see why
he can't be poached.
He can't be in another color, and that's growth.
Oh yeah,
that's
true.
Growth, political growth, in my view. But I wish him luck in this current dispensation.
One last word.
My fervent prayer is that we can have a death-free
Yeah, true.
by-election.
Yeah, true.
in Kawempe.
Thank you so much, our viewers. Thank you so much, Khalifa, for making it today. And we wish you the best as you embark on a not easy campaign period. Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you so much, Dr. Wirhe. But thank you so much, our viewers. And I didn't read some of the messages. I'm sorry because of time, but we will catch up again next Saturday in the dialogue. Thank you to the production team. Thank you to those who sent in comments and observations. I wish you a splendid weekend. See you again. God bless you and God bless Uganda.